Good afternoon, I'm Vashon Brown with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can watch TVJ live by downloading our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the #1 followed by the words Spot Media. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM, says it will be pursuing other methods of seeking to get disciplinary action taken in the nearly 100 cases it has submitted to the Police Services Commission. INDICOM has reported that since 2010, it has submitted 97 cases involving 138 officers to the Office of the Police Commissioner, but laments that, to its knowledge, there has not been a single hearing or disciplinary procedure in any of the cases.
It was submitted following investigation or inquiry by INDICOM, and we're making recommendations for officers to be disciplined. So these are not the officers who are charged. They go through a different route, obviously, but these were matters where we felt there was either recommendations for learning, development, further training of officers or groups of officers, or a discipline hearing to be held in order that the Commissioner or the Police Services Commission can decide on the appropriate sanction to make.
Speaking on RGR's Beyond the Headlines on Wednesday, Assistant Commissioner of INDICOM Hamish Campbell said any further action to be taken will begin in Parliament. Jamaica Labour Party General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang has confirmed with our news centre that the date for by-elections in 3 constituencies will be announced at a party meeting in St. Mary this weekend.
There's a meeting on be on Sunday, and we should give a clear indication as to the date for the by-election. It has been some time since I've had 2 resignations at the St. Andrew area, and unfortunately, we had the passing of Dr. Green a little later, so we had some marginal delay. But we are now, I think the Prime Minister now set to indicate the date for all the by-elections.
The by-elections will be in St. Mary South Eastern, St. Andrew South Western, and St. Andrew Southern. And the opposition leader, Dr. Peter Phillips, is at this hour unveiling his shadow cabinet at a news conference which got underway a short while ago. Now, the shadow cabinet currently has more than a dozen members. Our news team is covering the press conference, and we will, of course, bring you details in primetime news at 7. Meanwhile, with news emerging of Member of Parliament for South St. James, Derek Kelly, being admitted in hospital since Friday, residents of his constituency have expressed concern. We have more in this report.
Derek Kelly has been a People's National Party MP for South St. James since 1989. But in the February 25, 2016 general elections, he barely scraped through to secure victory, and that was following a magisterial recount. Mr. Kelly ended up polling 6,269 votes to the JLP's Homer Davis's 6,216, a 53-vote margin victory. And now, with news that the long-standing MP is so ill he's been hospitalized since Friday, his constituents are worried. TVJ News caught up with residents in Cambridge Square.
Maybe that's why he's sick, because he is here all the time. Whether he's sick or not sick, so that get him sick more, because last week or week before last he was here and me shocked here, so I'm sick.
So when my house went get burned down, he give me something to build it up back, and I never know that he was in a hospital.
There's also been mixed reactions to Mr. Kelly's decision to step aside from representational politics for the next general elections. Residents offered suggestions on the most suitable successor.
Me personally don't see anybody as yet to replace Mr. Kelly's seat.
Medley. Only Medley. I heard. Then take over.
Me don't really see nobody really know who take up this constituency like Mr. Kelly. So like me, you know, me just watching what's going on. You know, if Mr. Kelly are gone from the politics, me drift from the politics. So.
Well, we don't know who said to replace him, but I don't know. We can't choose. But we just wish him a speedy recovery. And I heard last night, I prayed for him.
Well, Mr. Kelly never do anything for me yet. I'm a security guard. He doesn't do nothing for me and not for my family. But I think I should give Auntie Medley a try, because myself and Auntie Medley, when I was in school together.
To replace him, you know, like Auntie Medley? Yes, for the next contest.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
To the crime scene now. Gunmen went on a rampage this morning, killing 2 persons and injuring 2 others, including a 7-year-old girl in Norwood, St. James. Police say minutes before 8 a.m., gunmen carried out a drive-by attack on the residence. 4 persons, including the child, were hit. 2 of them died, including the child's father, 30-year-old Sanjay Beckford, who is from Providence in Flanker, and the 32-year-old plumber Sheldon Bailey from Paradise, Norwood. The child and another man are in hospital. TVJ News understands that over 50 spent shells were found at the scene. The incident is believed to be a reprisal attack for another shooting in the area on Monday, in which a taxi driver was killed. And of course, we'll have more details on this story in Primetime News at 7. What will happen in Mount Salem, St. James after the zone of special operation ends? The police communications unit addressed the matter on TVJ's Smile Jamaica this morning. We have more in this report.
The first zone of special operations still active in Mount Salem, St. James, but Media Affairs Officer for the Jamaica Defense Force, Major Basil Jarrett, is assuring that after the ZOSO period has expired, a strong police presence will remain in the community. He added that the long-term impact from the ZOSO will come from the social intervention and community development programs, which he notes will, to a large extent, reduce the need for constant police and military presence in the community.
So we're placing a lot of confidence on the community's ability to preserve itself after we have left, because now they will now look like a regularly functioning community. You'll have proper roads, proper drainage, proper fences, proper demarcation of property, the sort of thing that you would expect to see in any well-functioning society. And we believe that that will help the community to keep those elements out from returning.
He insists that the increased security presence and the firearms recovered from St. James since the zone was declared has had a ripple effect.
On Monday, there was a large recovery of high-powered weapons. There were also some similar recoveries last week. Even though those did not take place within the ZOSO, the presence of the soldiers and the interaction with the regular policing is having that sort of third-order effect within the entire parish, and that's what we're seeing. Having such a large number of soldiers down there, it does force the gunmen to rethink how they have behaved in the past. So we're seeing that benefit.
We have looked at some things that we set out at the beginning. So we have had some recovery of firearm. We have not had any major criminal activities happening within the space. We are seeing a renewed relationship between the police and the citizens in the community. Already we see where aspects of the social intervention component chipped in a few weeks ago, and already persons are being more empowered.
Head of the Constabulary Communications Unit, Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, says she expects to see positive behavior changes from residents when other phases of the social intervention aspect of the ZOSO begin to take effect.
I was pleasantly surprised to see adults never being registered in all their lives. So you had the RGD, you had the passport, and persons had issues with identification. So without an identification, you can't even get a proper job. So all those services were brought to the community where persons had 2 days in which to access. And I think the real change is going to come when persons are empowered to be independent, persons are empowered that they can see themselves beyond just a little space.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
The Port Maria Police in St. Mary are still asking the public to help them identify the decomposing body of a man which was found Wednesday afternoon. The body was found on the compound of the St. Mary Municipal Corporation. The body was clad in a black and yellow shirt with khaki pants beside it. The Meteorological Service has downgraded the flash flood warning to a flash flood watch for low-lying and flood-prone areas of all parishes effective until 5 o'clock this afternoon. The trough and the tropical wave, which have been influencing weather conditions across the island, have moved further west and away from Jamaica. Satellite imagery and radar reports also indicate a decrease in shower activity across the island, and showers and thunderstorms are also expected to decrease across the area. However, the possibility for flash flooding still exists, as the island is still forecast to receive rainfall during the afternoon today, mainly across sections of central and western parishes. A flash flood watch means that flash flooding is possible, and residents are urged to be careful, keep informed by listening to further releases from the Met Service, and be quick and be ready for quick action if there is a possible flooding or if a warning is issued. Chairman of the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, Dr. Wicker McNeil, has raised concerns that the Norman Manley International Airport as well as the Sangster International Airport could end up under the same ownership. At Wednesday's meeting of the PAAC, it was revealed that MBJ Limited, operators of the Sangster International Airport, has been allowed to participate in the bidding for the Norman Manley International Airport. PAAC Chairman Dr. Wicker McNeil argued that it was an unwise move to have one company in control of the country's two international airports, mainly for security reasons.
There's a concern that if you have one operator operating the two major airports, if down the line there is some disagreement, some problem, they basically control both your airports, and that puts you in a weakened position. So I think the policy prior to this was that we would only allow one operator in our privatization process to have one of the two major airdromes.
Permanent Secretary in the Transport Ministry, Dr. Alwyn Hales, explains that the government believes including MBJ in the bidding process will increase competition. Meanwhile, Senior Director of Commercial Planning and Development at the Airports Authority of Jamaica, Alfred MacDonald, stressed that having one operator for both airports may bring financial benefits for the country. He also noted that the concerns raised will be taken into account when the final terms of agreement for the bidding for the preferred bidder is made.
From the MBJ agreement, and which would safeguard those concerns that are raised by the members regarding whether the owners of MBJ will have any advantage or disadvantage in participating in the process.
The South Trelawney Environmental Agency is calling for quick action to bar persons from mining in the Cockpit Country in light of a signed petition to save the area. The Jamaica Environment Trust led the 15,000 signature petition, which was signed 30 days earlier than expected. Environmental groups have been leading the charge to have the area, which has one of the largest reserves of bauxite in Jamaica, protected under law. Concerns about mining and quarrying in the area first surfaced in 2015 when the government gave a special exclusive prospecting license to bauxite company Noranda. The South Trelawney Environmental Agency wants the government to set boundaries for the Cockpit Country, which Treasurer Kenneth Grant maintains will guarantee long-term protection for the area.
That's done some time ago. Well, what is the problem now? We want the boundaries to be established so that it is known as a protected area. So no mining should go on now or in the future or after we have gone. Understand? So, because it is very important to the ecosystem of Jamaica.
The Office of the Prime Minister says it will respond within 30 days to the issues and concerns raised in the petition. And we go now to news on the international scene. Founder of the international adult magazine Playboy, Hugh Hefner, has died at the age of 91. Playboy Enterprises Incorporated said he passed away peacefully at home in Los Angeles from natural causes. Hefner began publishing Playboy in his kitchen in 1953. It became the largest-selling men's magazine in the world, shifting 7 million copies a month at its peak. And we go now to sports. Costa Rica's under-15 female football team has arrived in the island ahead of their 2 scheduled practice matches against Jamaica's under-17 female footballers. The young Reggae Girls will be playing the Costa Ricans as preparation for the CONCACAF Caribbean qualifiers, which runs from October 16 to 22 in Haiti.
Well, we played last year versus Jamaica in under-15, and it was a great match. We were really happy to be here, and we expect a competitive match. That's the truth, and we hope that the girls can be very competitive.
And Costa Rica's coach is hoping her team can play well in all departments.
See everything. That's it. We want to be the team with the ball, without the ball, We have been working very much and very hard, and we hope that the girls can grow and can born, be a competitive match.
The two practice matches will be played on Friday, September 29 and Sunday, October 1. And that's the Midday News. I'm Vashon Brown. Join us at 7 for a Primetime News package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, have a good afternoon.